Looking back on your career, right, in football, in basketball, when you played as an athlete, what do you wish that you had known earlier in your athletic career that you think would have been helpful for you?
I mean, injury recovery has just come so long, even in the past 10 years. And there's such a bigger focus on taking care of your body. And when I was in high school, hey, tape it up, get back out there. Now we have the Normatec boots, we get the game readies, we got the Theraguns, the ice bat. We have all this stuff just at the high school. So these high school kids have all these different advantages now, just technology's come a long way, science. So just knowing all those things about taking care of your body and doing preemptive care rather than waiting for a game, putting my body through the ringer, and then not being able to walk after. And all right, I got to go do it again Monday. I probably treated practices too hard and didn't see the big picture of the season. And I think a lot of coaches did that. High school coaches back then, practices they try to keep it as intense, but a lot of it's just hey, you screwed this up, hit the baseline and run, which we need to do that every once in a while. But hey, we just played this overtime game. We probably shouldn't be doing all these extra sprints for whatever reason. Taking it lighter in practice would probably help, because there were times I probably shouldn't have practiced, I was hurt, whatever. I'm I'm not sitting out. So taking that preemptive care, I would definitely think would be a big advantage, or something I wish I knew then. And then, it sounds simple, but just simple stretching and doing different mobility work. Because for my body frame, my mobility is good, but my shoulder's never been able to really move. Overhead, anything snatch, I can't really. Dumbbell snatch, I'm good. Overhead, barbell, never really happened. But it takes so long to kind of get that mobility. So trying to focus on that in the beginning of my career, not that I was trying to snatch in high school, but just working on those different movements to kind of get a full body routine rather than focusing solely on one sport. And kids now, most of them just play one sport. And we have basketball players who are, I've seen them kind of destroy their knees because they're just constantly doing basketball and playing in club. We had a club tournament last night, and the kids are playing 3 games in a row, some on multiple teams, whatever. And that's the only thing they do. And they treat the club like it's in season. So they're just constantly playing games. They're doing nothing to recover. They're doing nothing to strengthen. And that could lead to a lot more stuff down the line. So for younger kids that are doing that, that's something I always kind of give them a heads up. I'm begging kids to play volleyball right now. That just helps your vertical. I think my vertical leap went up 8 inches in the one season I played. So trying to stay active in multiple sports. And I did that, but that's something I don't think kids are doing as much. And that's definitely something that kind of hurts kids now.
So you would say, as far as things that you wish you knew when you were younger, these are sort of both mental and physical, preparing more ahead of time. So sort of that prehab, like you were talking about. In other words, not waiting to get injured in order to do something about it. Mm-hmm. So working on and this ties into the mobility, the strengthening ahead of time. So that also ties into the cross training, so that you're not just slamming your knees and your ankles, doing the same thing over and over and over again. You're cross training, preparing your body for multiple different circumstances. The other thing I heard you say was taking a little bit more of a wide snapshot. So stepping back, taking that third person perspective. In other words, stepping out of your own shoes and looking at the season as a whole, mm-hmm. instead of just this practice, just this game. How can I better prepare for the whole season, my mind and my body, taking a day off here or there to rest, as opposed to hitting it immediately the day after we had a double overtime game and then just getting back to it because we unfortunately lost and the coach, wants to punish us. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time for a rest day. That's actually going to help us perform better in the future. Yeah. So mentally and physically, I think those things both tie into everything that I just said. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure.